In this video, I want to talk about attention, because where your attention goes is where your focus is, which is what you're going to perceive of, which is what is going to create your reality. Sorry, I was looking at myself in the freaking monitor over here, and I thought that my head was like off the screen, but it looks like I have just like a hair of a space here. So I said, forget about it. I'm just gonna move this. There we go. All right. So, number one, I'm not here for your entertainment. And no, that is not me just repeating the lyrics of, I believe is that Pink? That's me being honest. I'm not here for your entertainment, and that's important. Though I can be very entertaining, and I might be able to entertain you, that's not my purpose, okay? My purpose is to tell the truth. But not just tell the truth, not just tell you what I know or expose the system or try to get validated in my own beliefs. It's to hold the signal. And that means that not only am I telling you the truth online, in my life, I am also doing the same thing. And I've had to actually come to terms with quite a few truths over the last 2 years or so, I would say. And not just come to terms with them by recognizing them within myself and then admitting them to myself, but following the feeling then who also needed to hear that truth. And that's important because truth and belief are completely different. Don't believe me? I'm going to say something. Watch. I think that Trump and Elon are both psychopaths. I genuinely think that they are sociopathic. I think that they have so much power and attention and control that they are the narcissists of the world right now, okay? Now, some people might agree with that, and some people might be triggered by that. But it's not because that's the truth. That's because that's what I believe. And you may believe something different. And that is the difference. Truth doesn't come from outside of you. And you may be thinking, well, if someone says something or if I read something, then that's outside of me. No, what happens is when that person says something or when you read that line, what happens is that it resonates with you internally because that's truth. That's why it's so important to know what your body's saying. My quote, a personal quote of mine, says that. I don't know why that tripped me up, but a personal quote of mine, I say, every word must have been spoken first before it could have been written. Because Source, God, the universe, the field, whatever you want to call it, speaks first to your body before your mind comprehends. And when you can get beyond the analytical mind, that's where truth resides. So belief and truth are not the same. And that is important because on my feed on social media, first of all, I don't even have social media. I shouldn't say that. I have social media, but I am not a consumer of social media. I am a creator and I am building a container for truth. The only thing allowed here is the truth. That's it. Not fear, not persuasion, not convincing, not validation. I need nothing from you, and nobody's forcing me to sit here and speak and say the things that I am saying. It is a calling. It is something that I feel driven to do from something that is beyond myself. Because if we don't get to a place where we can agree, at least even on the simple fact that there is something known as the truth, then I don't think that we're going to make it too much longer as a humanity. And come 2030, that dystopian world that you're imagining, human slavery digitally, will prevail. Back to the phone thing, on my social media feed, it doesn't matter if there's 5 people in the same room, all on Facebook at the same time, their feed is going to be completely different. Because you know what you are in the scientific computer space, what they would call you is a node. A node, it has to do its job, but a node by itself is meaningless. It means nothing. It gets no acknowledgement. It just needs to do its job. Doesn't get paid to do its job. It's just there to do it. And it's not even aware that it's being used to do it. That is who you are in the grand scheme of the system and in the grand scheme of the matrix, which is social media. So it's very, very important that you know how to discern truth from belief. And that is what these videos are about. Look, I was going to start this video and talk to you about focus and attention. And I had all my notes right here and everything. And then something came over me and was like, nope, this is what you need to do. This is the video you need to make. And this is what you need to share. So rather than reading off my notes, I'm just talking to you because if you're going to get anything on this channel or in any of my social media, on any of my social media platforms, you need to get one thing. And that is that you need to be able to discern truth from belief. If you can't, then your beliefs are going to create a reality that you don't agree with, that you are living in, that just continues to breed the consumerism and the behavioral changes. I want to give you a challenge here, and I want you to practice something in real life. And I'm gonna end the video with this, but this is something that you can really practice and really do to help you understand and see in real time exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, what I want you to do is when you're on social media next, the next time that you feel an emotion, whether that makes you want to engage with a comment, to say your piece, or share something with a friend, or it makes you feel angry or sad or happy or anything like that, I want you to notice something. And I want you to realize that if it's like dopamine and happy and all these things, that was not your doing. This device in front of your face and the social media platform that you are on is using your psychology against you. And from that place, it's very subtly, very minutely changing your behavior. There's this whole entire system built under the guise of commerce, but it is actually control. And it's extremely convoluted. And because of that, people are unaware of what's really happening to them. I could sit here and say something very, very out there, such as your mind is being controlled. And some people might call that woo-woo, some people might call that conspiracy, but it's even more than your mind. It's your emotions and it's your behavior. If you understand that the way you think is the way that you feel, and the way that you feel is the way that you act, then you will understand that that thing on your phone that gave you the reaction, whether you wanted to share it, whether it made you feel happy, whether it made you feel angry, whether you wanted to do something because of it, that wasn't your thought. It was put into you and then you took an action from it. And then that action maybe gave that individual engagement. And that engagement is not healthy for you. It's built to make sure that you keep engaging. And then the individuals like Russell Brand, for instance, who share these things, who feed off of the human psyche in their belief in scripture, yet boasts fear-mongering all the time, is the same thing. The algorithm, the systems paying his account or whatever it is, thousands of dollars a month, and maybe he's not even getting it through that kind of formality or monetization, but he's getting it from somewhere for sharing that propaganda. Because that's how the system works. Look at the kind of content that you're engaging with, and look at how it's making you act. It's making you, Amazon, the ASW, you should look into what that really is, because it controls your behavior. And 2-day shipping, that was a neural programmed, positioned target directly on your action. Meaning there's a dopamine loop that happens. 2-day shipping, you order something, you get it almost instantly, and you feel that excitement, and then you get it, and then you get the package, and then it's gone. And almost always, people are ordering from Amazon because they're unconsciously aware of the loop. You're stressed out. It's just become such a programmed behavior that you're autonomously now just doing it because your dopamine receptors are just so burnt out that that's the only thing that gets them even a little bit of something. You get no dopamine from watching a sunset anymore. But by golly, if you order off Amazon, whew. And so this system goes on and on and on. In all of the industrial complex, in all of the medical complex, in all of the pharmaceutical complex, in all of everything. It is a system of control. Just like slavery never ended. It's only been more and more what's the word I'm thinking of? Controlled, I guess. You see, I want you to imagine something, and I don't want you to imagine my color, okay? Let's take color out of this. What I want you to imagine is that prior to me leaving my 9 to 5, I would go punch in on a clock, and I would trade my time, which is the most valuable thing that I have, and my body and all of my energy in service, right, in lieu of an exchange of value, which is money, just to barely get by. Not because I didn't want to, but because I can't control inflation, but because I can't control who jacks up the rent at what times and when, because I can't control. It's always that way. It's always subtle little promises that never actually come to fruition. And so let's say I go to work and I'm living in this home, and back then you would live on the plantation, right? You would live on the plantation and you'd be fed, and you wouldn't be fed very well. And a lot of people aren't fed very well. There's a lot of processed foods. There's a lot of, it's very expensive to get good, clean, whole foods for a reason, because they don't want you nourished. They don't want you out of fight or flight. They want all of your attention. They want all of your energy, because your energy and focus creates their reality. If your own attention and focus can create reality, then imagine at scale attention and focus and what that creates. It's extremely dangerous when you allow unregulated systems, systems to monetize human beings. You are the product. And that might not make you feel good, and it shouldn't make you feel good to know that you're being used, you're being manipulated, you're being lied to. This isn't about fear. This is about vigilance. This is about not continuing to give your power and focus and energy and life force over to this system. So, I know I was going to end this video. I'm going to try and end it again. What I want you to do is pay attention to how things make you feel. And then ask yourself, why do I feel this way? And if you can't do that, you're fucked, okay? Because that's the only way out. Radical acceptance that you were asleep, but the will to want to awaken. That is what you need. And if you want the truth, that's why I'm here. I'm not here to garner your attention, just to validate my beliefs. I am here because there is nowhere that the truth actually exists anymore. And the truth isn't mine alone. It's a collective will of individuals that come together that say, we can at least agree on one thing, and that is that there is such a thing called the truth. And that's why you're here too, because you're a part of this community, because you probably either see it or feel it, or you can hear it as well. So if you made it to the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you so much for being here. As always, I appreciate you. And this is it. I'm going to just start making my videos and content, and I'm going full time. So if you liked this video, then you will like everything that I have to come, because not only am I going to be exposing things, I'm not going to be exposing things just to call things out and point at the exit. I'm going to help individuals in real time the best that I can evolve and awaken further through the system, through social media, through the matrix, whatever you want to call it. The intelligence that currently controls the masses. I'll just say that. Okay? So, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and thank you for choosing the truth.